Hi, Dara Connolly here, and I love helping my clients speak with impact. And today I thought it would be good to give you 5 rarely discussed tips that help make speakers great at public speaking. So the very first tip is something I like to call micro-expression awareness, which simply means that great speakers are very in tune to the subtle micro-expressions of their audience. So for example, as you are presenting, you may notice if people are starting to pull out their phones, kind of start chatting among themselves, or do you notice they're leaning in, nodding, smiling, and taking notes? Speakers who can effectively read the room in the moment and adjust their delivery on the fly will have way better connection. So start thinking how you can adjust. In fact, at one of my most recent presentations, I was speaking at a large conference, and I noticed that a lot of the women in particular were coming in late to grab a seat. So I made a quick point to comment on my sparkling shoes that I was wearing. And I wasn't planning on doing this at all, but I was talking about how the shoes you wear can really help how fast you can get to your seat. Now, I didn't say this to distract from my presentation or message, but it was just a very few lines that I said to help get them to laugh and feel at ease for coming in late to the presentation. And I was reading the room. Intuitively, I felt that this would be okay because I thought this anecdote would give them a chance to pay attention, maybe laugh, and I knew it would make them smile, and it did. So in fact, this is funny because after my presentation, there were 10 people who came up to me to comment on my sparkly shoes, and they were saying how much I liked the shoes. That was a fun part of the story, and this wasn't scripted at all. I brought this in at the last minute because I knew this would be a quick adjustment based on what was happening in the room. So when we have a micro awareness, we are ultra tuned in to what's happening around us and engaging with the room. Number 2 is vocal tonality precision. Now, again, beyond just varying your pitch and volume, exceptional speakers use specific tonal patterns to evoke precise emotional response. Now, one way I want you to practice this is to say the same sentence varying in degrees of minimal emotions from low to high. You could do this by looking in the mirror or recording yourself. Simply say, "Hi, how are you?" And then say it again, varying your tone from 1 to 10. Then say it all the way up to 10, creating a nuanced auditory experience for your listeners. "Hi, how are you?" can become, "Hi, how are you?" Then I want you to say the same exact sentence, "Hi, how are you?" this time playing with changing your emotions and your tone. Try saying it in a happy tone, an angry tone, confused tone, a sad tone. Notice that these tricks are something that I've learned to do in acting training and when I work with acting clients, because these tonal variety are important elements to add to your presentation. So try that. Number 3 is using strategic vulnerability. Now, most of my clients struggle with this one because they're either not sure how to share being vulnerable or how much vulnerability and to what degree. So try this. Rather than just sharing your personal stories, great speakers intentionally reveal moments of vulnerability that are directly tied to their core message. Let me give you an example. If I tell you that I was scared to speak on my very first stage, that's fine. But if I uncover the layers of emotion behind it and I tell you, as I heard my voice quiver and felt my hand shake the very first time that I spoke on stage, I timidly looked out at the room and I saw rows of red chairs and realized I can focus just on one person. Your vulnerability, if you're comfortable sharing it, will deepen the audience's emotional connection and trust that they have with you, making your message even more persuasive. Now, I guarantee just in those few sentences I said that you remember the color of the chair, red. Because when you speak with strategic vulnerability, it makes you more memorable. Number 4, intentional pauses for cognitive processing. This is just a fancy way of saying take time to pause strategically, not just for effect, but to give the audience time to process your complex information, your innovative new strategies, or the emotional points you just shared. Here's how you can do this. After you write your speech, I want you to go back and insert pauses before and after you say anything that is worth pondering. For example, pause. Here is my main point. When you create a rhythm or cadence to your speaking, it enhances comprehension and engagement. Pause. Number 5, subtle environmental controls. Now, I was recently listening to a podcast about how palm readers can influence their clients by suggesting a word that the person then agrees to. So, for example, if I'm reading your palm and I say, you know, you are very stubborn. Most of us will immediately look for examples of a time that, yes, indeed, we were stubborn to help reinforce that statement. Now, total disclaimer here, this is not to say all palm readers do this, but great speakers can subtly influence their audience with words as well. For example, you can help prepare your audience to learn new content by saying, today, you are going to learn an exciting new strategy, or get ready because you're about to change your ways. By inserting these phrases into your next presentation, you prepare the room to put down any distractions and to focus on us. Now, we can take environmental controls even further by adjusting the room temperature, lighting, or the seating arrangement to create an ambiance that supports the energy level that you want for your message. So as a speaker, you want to set the scene and ensure that the external factors support you rather than distract from your message. So therefore, get there early and see if you can adjust the room temperature or the layout of the chairs. This way you have an advantage of keeping others' attention throughout your entire presentation. Now, these are just a few of the many tips I can teach you on this topic of how you can speak with impact. If you're ready to learn more, go ahead and click the link below and let's jump on a call so we can have a conversation. Speak with impact every day, every time. I dare ya.